Welcome to the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast and radio show infused with hip hop. I am Wood.
Made daily with organic, farm to table, localized, neuralized, sterilized, Scotch guarded for 2020 repellent, available online, shipped via Amazon, not available on Sundays, but now available on thebeastradio.com. Broken Pencil Logic. You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgundy.
Hey, Suave.
Yo.
You know what today is, don't you?
Enlighten me.
Today is Wednesday, June 15th. Year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
I said year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
20 and 22.
Hey, man.
The general public is probably hearing this on Friday, June 17th, year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
I said year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
20 and 22.
Amen.
And the significance about June 15th is something special. It's a couple things.
Is it?
Every year June 15th is
Extra waffles half off at the Waffle House? Nice.
It's my favorite vegetable turn up Danger One birthday, bitch.
Aha. That was my next guess.
And what better than to have a special guest on my birthday? Typically, we try to get in our bag and try to have interviews and shit on, with our guests.
Act like we've done this before.
Act like we've been here and shit, but this one hits a little different. We talked about him on episode 170.
You did.
He had a pay-per-view matchup with one Kevin Ferguson Jr., a.k.a. Baby Slice, as they call him.
Kimbo Slice.
He just so happens to be longtime friend of mine, longtime friend of us.
A whole lot of fucking gang shit. Yeah.
Dish Nation personality, host of the Morning Hustle, nationally syndicated morning show, your friend and mine. The mighty head crack the gaps in this bitch.
What's up, world? Peace out.
Hit fire on these bitches.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I love the energy around here, man. And happy birthday, Danger, man.
My man. Appreciate that, man. Yo. Listen, I know you have a really tight schedule. We're going to accommodate that. Stick around as long as you need to, as long as you want to. But let's talk business first and foremost.
Okay.
What in the hell? Like, I literally found out as we were recording that you had a pay-per-view boxing match, courtesy of BitcoinRodney.com.
Yep.
How did this come about?
So this whole celebrity boxing thing has been having a hell of a resurgence over the last couple years. So I've been seeing these different matches and events going on. You got YouTubers versus TikTokers in that whole social glove space. And, I saw a couple matches. I was like, I want to get down. So I reached out to my manager, Anna. Anna reached out to Damon Feldman, who is like, the guy who actually started celebrity boxing. Because if you really do the tail of the tape, this thing was jumping off about damn near 20 years ago on Fox.
I remember with Sticky Fingers and who was the other guy?
That was a different joint. So that was an MTV situation.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And the one on Fox, I think you had like Todd Bridges fighting Dustin Diamond, and I think Streets from Saved by the Bell fought somebody, Refrigerator Perry fought Manute Bol. It was just all types of like maniac wildness back then. And like, even as a kid, I'm like, I want to do that one day. So fast forward all these years, and it comes back, and I'm seeing some of the people that's associated with it, and I was like, well, I'm a little bit more famous than them, and I could do this. So, we reached out. They was like, hell yeah, let's do it. And next thing you know, damn near like 10 months later, it finally jumped off. Because I was supposed to fight as early as October, and then it switched to March. But I was having a hard time locking an opponent down.
So was it the fact that they weren't taking you seriously as trying to be a competitor, or no one wanted to hop in the ring with you because like
they asked around?
So here's the thing. So with October, it was a little too soon because I think we like started having conversations maybe in August, right, of 2021, and to get it jumping in October was a little bit too soon. They like to get their promo on, right? So then it turned into March, and I'm like, all right, hell yeah, let's do it in March, whoop-de-whoop, and I reached out to mad people in radio. I reached out to a few people in the rap space, also a couple DJs, and it was all like, nah, man.
You knew when you asked. When none of them finna fight you.
But here's the thing. It's celebrity boxing.
Here's the thing. You knew better because you know the ramifications of any rapper, DJ, or radio personality fighting you. That is a bunch of other people they're going to have to fight.
Moreover, Suave, how about the fact that this man has live mic access at least 5 days per week in
you
prime
never
time.
Live it down. Never, under no circumstances.
So maybe I undervalue like sometimes my space and place within the entertainment lexicon, because here's the thing, like, I'm not a rub it in your face kind of dude. Like, the fight is the fight. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. It is what it is. But I was trying to think, like, who is just as encumbered as I am? You know what I mean? Like, because I didn't want to, because like you look at somebody like a Jake Paul who makes YouTube videos and literally has unlimited money and time to train all day. That's not a good fight. I would probably get washed because, like, listen, I get up early as hell in the morning. I fucking do a radio show, do the TV show, and I have like maybe a little bit of gas left in the tank to go work out and spar. You know what I mean? So I was trying to find somebody who was encumbered as I was, and I was coming up with nothing. Then we locked in on an opponent, but the opponent started hearing about how my training sessions were going. Man.
Fucked around and found out, huh?
Look, because that was going to be my next question. Like, how long you been ducked off in the shadows getting your game together before it was time to get right?
Officially since January.
Aha.
So I had a good 6-month run to get it going. So after that opponent backed out, there was a couple other names that was thrown at me, and I was down to fight anybody at that point because like I was just tired of not having an opponent, because here I am at that point. I had been training for 3 months to fight one particular dude with a particular height and a particular stance, and now I'm having to change it up, and I don't know who the hell I'm fighting. So it got to a point where I was like, fuck it, whoever, Damon, whoever you got. He's like, how about Kimbo Slice Jr.? And I was like, well, wait a damn minute. This dude fights for real. Like, this guy's a fighter. Like, he does this, you know what I'm saying? And like, growing up, you guys been on YouTube. I mean, like, watching his dad throw hands was a spectacle.
Yeah, that's a cultural moment.
Big time, man. Like, we were there for every time a new Kimbo Slice fight tape would pop up. The internet would come to a complete standstill and watch that joint like it was pay-per-view.
Two things occupied internet space back then: rap battles and Kimbo Slice.
Damn right. So between point A and point B, at watching the Kimbo Slice tapes, then you like learn more about Kimbo Slice's life, and you find out he has a son, and it's like, oh wow, Baby Slice, dope, he's doing this too. And so like, I had such a supreme respect, and still do, for Baby Slice, not only for the fact like, damn, man, you lost your parent, man. Like, I lost my mom not too long ago. So I identify with that. And, and I also respected his knuckle game in the UFC situation. I know he's like 3 wins, 3 losses, but like, that's just how it be in the UFC. Right, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
like, you could be the champ with 27 losses and 9 wins. It's just like,
it's just that one. It's that one win that matters.
Right.
Exactly. So like, I respect anybody who jumps in there using feet, fist, hands, elbow, choking maneuvers and the whole nine, like, because it's a dangerous game. So I'm a little concerned, when they threw that name out there. But at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? He a man, I'm a man. I'm just gonna train hard, like very hard, harder than I've ever trained for anything else. And I went into the gym and told my trainer Pepper, big shout out to him, this is the game plan, this is who the opponent is. He was a little like, nah fam at first, but he worked me even harder. He brought in sparring partners who were more skilled than me, You know what I'm saying? I'm getting my ass kicked all up
you're
and down.
getting worked on a daily.
Not on a daily, because you need time to recover.
Right.
Like, just imagine if you got into a fight Monday and Tuesday, right? Like,
It's not gonna work at all.
yo, because there's one thing to punch the mitts and punch the bag. Them shits don't hit back. But he was bringing it. Shout out to my man. Damn, why am I drawing up like right now? Shout out to my man Matt, who was like one of my first spar partners. He brought in there a guy. He's like 6'2" in like, supreme shape, and the guy like is so good at sticking and moving. I learned how to take a punch. You know what I'm saying? But also learn how to throw punches back. And then he brought in other spar partners, and the train just kept going and going and going and going and going until I started looking better in the ring, moving better in the ring, retaliating better, and not overcommitting. Because, sometimes, when somebody hits you, you be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you start charging them,
Yeah, you trying to do that little Mac punch and stuff, you just throwing your whole shoulder and elbow out, man. Like, I was overextending. And then sometimes, too, like, when you be in the heat of it, when it's new to you, you don't even be breathing.
Yeah.
You in the ring holding your breath and stuff like that. So it took the repetition of doing it multiple times to understand, like, all right, this is how you got to control your pacing. This is how you got to, block your space. Dominate this part of the ring. This person is telegraphing the punch if you see the move this way. So I learned all of that in a matter of 6 months. And it put me in a position to where, I was able to step in the ring last weekend and do my thing. And then thank God, the fight was actually in June and not March, because I would have did okay in March. But I felt like I was a lot better prepared when I went in there last weekend.
So it was March when you found out, or was it January when you found out that you were going to be fighting Baby Slice?
No, I found out I was fighting Baby Slice in late April.
Oh, damn.
Because the names kept changing.
Yeah, wow.
Because even in March, when I went to the celebrity boxing match that they did in Atlantic City, I just wanted to see how the show looked live. You know what I'm saying? What was the energy like? How, was it smoothly ran and all that good stuff? And it was. And every few matches, then the promoter would be like, hey, what do you think about this guy? Would you fight this guy? And none of those guys was Baby Slice, even though Baby Slice did fight that night. And the guy that he fought, Baby Slice did a masterful job fighting that type of opponent, because I would have fought that opponent the same way Baby Slice did. Stick and move, stay away from him, because the guy was bigger than him. So looking at that strategy, he played that game well. And one of the people that they mentioned was the guy that Baby Slice fought that night. And I was like, yeah, I would fight that guy the same way. But then it changed again. So here we are, mid to late April. They're like, what about Baby Slice? And it's like, oh shit, okay, let's go. And we went in, put in the work, and I think we got fantastic results, man.
That's amazing, man. And then on top of that, like you said, Baby Slice has a professional record of 3 wins, 3 losses, no draws, and you took him to the distance, bro. You know what I'm saying? That shit right there, man.
Somebody has had to have leaked some workout footage for all of these people to just last minute be like, nah, I don't want to fight this guy.
Wait, talk about me?
Yes, you motherfucker.
Wait, you.
They done leaked your footage out nah.
The boxing community in Atlanta is very small. And I think people talk. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna front I'm in here like Tyson and the Catskills and shit, but I'm not the fastest puncher, but I hit when it lands, it lands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But And I would love to be able to build that speed, but I'm on the wrong side of 30 to get faster.
I say, Bruno. Somebody eat a punch from you on the street, they gonna feel it. I don't know if they're gonna go down, if they're gonna stand up, whatever. Either way, the next day they gonna feel that shit. So don't slight yourself. And of course I know you not, because we your guys and shit. But come on, man. These motherfuckers got a record, especially after doing this shit on pay-per-view in front of thousands of people in Slice's home state. Come on, man.
I feel like the odds were totally against me going in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm in enemy territory. I'm in there against the guy who's done this multiple times, know how it feels to fight in front of a crowd. And and only thing I could really truly say, and as crazy as this may sound, I'll lead with one, God had my back that night. And then also two, I have mastered the art of channeling whatever version of myself from the universe that I need that night to be who I need to be. Because when I look at my overall tail of the tape, I've pulled off some phenomenal things that I've had no right being able to pull off. And it's just only being in tune with the universe and also having a high faith in God and, you know, and just the ability to, like, you know, channel. You ever seen the movie The One?
Yeah.
With Jet Li?
No doubt.
So you know how there was like so many different versions of Jet Li, like, throughout that movie?
Right.
I'm a person who truly does believe in the multiverse theory, and I feel like there's multiple versions of us. Even better, there's a current movie out right now called Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
I need to check
Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't heard of that one. I need to check that, though.
Yo, everybody's on Doctor Strange and the multiverse of madnesses, Jock, but yo, that's truly the multiverse movie you need to see, because I swear, like, yo, Danger One, there's a version of you somewhere that raps and doesn't DJ. You know what I'm saying? Suave, there's a version of you somewhere that is a chef instead of being on the podcast right now. So
yeah, we call that 2001, motherfucker.
Right. So, like, you know, like, there's been times where, like, I've been physically injured and I just closed my eyes and meditated and asked for the universe to send me the strongest, healthiest version of myself so I could do whatever it is I needed to go do that afternoon. And I would just stand up and walk away like nothing happened and then, you know, do what I got to do. And then all of a sudden fall back into myself. That happened when I did my last appearance on Sway. I was fucking crippled walking into the studio that day, but I asked for the universe to send me the healthiest, non-slew-footed version of myself so I could walk into that studio and not be in pain. And I blacked out, did an amazing freestyle, and had an amazing, an amazing interview with the brother. And, you know, and same thing happened in that boxing ring. When I look at the footage, and when I look at some of the still photos, which are poster-worthy,
boy, I'm telling you, you made the town proud, bro. Straight up.
Yo, man, and that's all I wanted to do, man. I didn't want to end up looking at the ceiling lights. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to look like
first and foremost.
I didn't want to look like Martin when he fought Tommy Hearns.
Punks jump up.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to make the city proud, man. Like, you know, I don't know if I'll continue to do this. I feel like I am truly a one and done guy when it comes to boxing, because, like, what else is there for me to do other than get knocked out?
Man, Suave, wait till I send you this shit, man. Crack just sent me. Fucking no Mitch Green either, because that's another feudal moment in boxing history, is the Mitch Green Mike Tyson moment. Check that. Give me the play-by-play of that, Suave, when you get this picture. It should be there right now.
All right, let me check my mobile device that Steve Jobs died to provide me.
I'm in.
Oh,
pretty much.
See, this photograph looks like
that is a knockdown.
Like
gravity,
a full monster. Like
gravity was not in the favor in this picture. There's absolutely no way. Like all physics, multiverse physics are defied if this man stands right up from this stance here. This is a knockdown.
He looks like Clubber Lang with headgear.
Get him.
like dead ass. Like Clubber Lang is back out here dropping boys. You better keep your guards up.
Oh,
yo,
man.
And knowing that my DNA is half pizza, like, there's no way.
Damn it, bro.
I should have been able to look like this that night.
I remember a night or two being at Crack's house, him pulling up video footage of going home to New York and then going to Gray's Papaya, and he acting like a kid eating popsicle for the first time. So, like, he's not lying about the half pizza shit.
Like, and I want to be 400 pounds in my heart. Like, in my heart, I want to be 400 pounds, but I also really like the way my clothes fit when I'm in shape. And one thing I gotta say is, like, this boxing training has got me in the best shape that I've been in since I've been a tax-paying adult.
Yeah, you look phenomenal, B. Like, no cap at all. You look phenomenal, man. Like, you are a testament to good health and what good health should look like, you know. And of course, we don't know about the full diet, and I don't want you to disclose that. However, if anybody is striving to be anything remotely close to physically fit, this is a good blueprint to want to go after. So yeah,
and I'll give you the game, man. Like, you know, I was going into the gym about 3 to 4 times a week, and, you know, boxing training is a lot of cardio. Because my ankles are made of Kit Kats, I didn't really do a shit ton of running, but I would start every workout routine with doing like 9 minutes of jumping rope, and then I would shadow box for about 3 to 4 rounds. You know what I'm saying? And like, it doesn't sound like it's a heavy workout, but when you throwing punches and you moving around like that, you do work up quite a sweat, right?
Yeah.
And then when you hit in the mitts with the trainer or whatnot, if you don't have mitts to hit, maybe you could buy like a little punching bag and then set that 3-minute timer and just run different punch combos for a duration of like what a 12-round fight would be, and you'd be surprised how many calories you burn off. And as it relates to diet, yo man, like the enemy is bread.
Yeah, I mean, I remember. I remember when you first went to Atlanta and came back and did a show in Dallas, and you had dropped maybe 30 pounds. And the first thing you told me is like, "Yeah, cut the bread out."
Yeah, and it's so hard to do that because like every place you go to that has a drive-through is some meat slapped between some bread. Even like as much as I love pizza, I realize that like gluten-free pizza is a little bit healthier than eating other pizza. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's just about cutting back and just making like logical decisions and just doing more veggies and greens and stuff like that. And the dope thing is, I don't crave those horrible things I used to crave before the fight. I mean, granted, I have been eating some bullshit the last couple days, but Popeyes, they had 59-cent chicken the other day. Like,
oh God!
The devil is always busy.
Anniversary prices and shit.
The devil be working overtime, like
overtime
with extra staff. But like tomorrow when I wake up, back to eating healthy, eating, a pear in the morning. A handful of cashews. What? Easiest way to break it down: 1 400-calorie meal every 3 hours, just to keep your metabolism burning. I know 400 calories doesn't sound like a lot, but if you weighing your portions out and you finding your the right foods and cutting your carbs, you'll be strizzy, man. Like a fat, a protein, and a protein and a carb. That's all you need. And a carb is a fruit or a vegetable.
Right.
Natural sugars.
Natural sugars, yeah. Like, I mean, I like Twizzlers and shit, but like, you can't pull that off a tree.
So you did a 23andMe and came back with 87.3% snacks. That's what I'm getting at, right?
At one point in time, yeah, that definitely was me. Like, yo, movie theater popcorn, Twizzler.
God damn.
Look, I just need that half my DNA is pizza on a shirt.
Yo, because like every Friday, man, we would order Marco's. Like every Friday.
Oh, man.
And the fact that we would order so much pizza is like you're eating pizza Friday and Saturday. And yo, it's just so funny how like even if you get in shape, like, and you start to see even 1 or 2 abs, right? Eat some bread and watch how fast them abs fall back in your bushes.
Yo,
that's crazy.
Oh man, that's taking me back to college right there. I remember when I first saw my abs, like yes, and then fucked around and ate some fried chicken with a piece of bread on the side, Chicago style too. Woo! That shit was not popping.
Every time I got in shape, bro, I celebrated getting in shape and got fat again. Every single time. Like, hell yeah, I did it.
It's a celebration every time.
Every time.
Yo, we ain't gonna keep you, man. We appreciate the conversation. We got to get you on here when you got more time, but shit, you got to find more time. You need a 28-hour day, man. Give me
all you need to do is just give me a heads up and be like, yo, we doing it at this time. Like, yo, you hit me in the fourth quarter. I was about to start watching Obi-Wan with the fan. Thank God it's like 10 minutes worth of credits. That's why I was like, yo, I'm gonna be 8 minutes late because like shit just happened, right? So, but yo, man, I love what y'all throwing down. I love the shit y'all be talking about, and yo, the vibe is fun. And yo, listen, man, we go back like lawn chairs. So, yo, whenever you need me, man, I'm always down to pull up, man. And I'm just glad to see that, yo, this is episode what?
171.
Clap it up one time for that.
Yeah, we thought we were the longest running, but we are one of maybe top 2, top 3 at the very least, longest running Black pro wrestling and hip hop podcast going in the world.
I love it. I love it. I love it, man. And yo, y'all keep it going, man. Beat all the records. and do what they say they couldn't be done, man. Like, yo, I'm proud of y'all, for real, for real.
Hey, man, we proud of you too, bro. Like, it goes without saying. I mean, like last time we saw you, we were on stage together. So that alone shows, you know, the camaraderie there, because like that stage is a sacred place, man. While we have the last few seconds with you, plug everything, man. Go for it.
All right, listen, man, my new single is out right now. It's called Violence. The B-side is called For the Love. The music video for Violence is dropping in about a week. Be sure you follow me on YouTube at HEADKRACK. Music is streaming everywhere. Same name on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff, man.
Shouts out to Trav by the 7th Keynote, you know what I'm saying? Bodega Brothers forever.
Hey!
Yo, I don't even know. I be capping a lot, man. I think maybe you can back me up on this, Crack. I believe I was the first show DJ y'all ever had.
This is probably likely because some of the first Bodega shows were like on Lower Greenville, and I believe you held down the decks for us at one of the Lower Greenville shows, as well as something that we did in Deep Ellum as well, which is now like Deep Ellum is like now Beirut and shit.
let the promoters tell it,
bruh.
Yo, like I never like was in. Because I did a show there like a couple weeks ago, and like while I'm there, people was like, "Yo, why you out here? Shit ain't safe." Like, why you telling me that now that I'm here? Like, you know,
you couldn't send me that to DM.
It's better if the cops got the shit blocked
whispered
off.
In my ear and said, "You know, T-Pain canceled the show at the Bomb Factory because he didn't feel safe." I'm like, huh? What?
Oh, but you're good. You're good here. nah, bro. I'm trying to be at the house.
Nah.
That's me. I've been swung on a Deep Ellum before. Like, shit can happen to anybody.
I could have saved the gas and the toll fees if y'all hit me earlier.
Straight up, we could have did a show in downtown and got better traction. Shit, yo,
the show is great.
Satellite.
But but the show is great. But like, it's almost like buying a house and then someone tells you people were murdered in it when you got there.
Yeah, they got to tell you that first. You can't just buy that. You can't just get those keys without being told that shit first. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I could have knocked me off a whole another $65,000 just for that.
Like, we can negotiate, you know what I'm saying, but it's gonna cost you a little bit.
Like, every house got skeletons, but I'm just saying, let me negotiate with the ones you giving me.
Every house got skeletons, but how many got ghosts?
See, and that's why the Sci-Fi Channel is still in business.
Oh shit, Crack, man, we appreciate you, man. Go ahead, take care of the family. Tell them I said what up. And we at you, bro. It'll be a lot sooner than this. 171 episodes of you not being on here is a fucking travesty, but we'll make it right the next time, bro.
This is me saying in a recorded format, I can't wait.
My man.
See y'all soon, man. Peace and love, brother.
All right, love you, brother. We talk soon, man.
Back at you, man. Peace.
Right on, man. Motherfucking head cracked again, yo. That's what a birthday present, man. Do we actually have some shit to talk about today? Because like
our friends are cooler than yours.
Show at brokenpistolbc.com, brokenpistolbc@gmail.com. That's at brokenpistolbc on everything. Every damn thing. Let's see.
We got plenty to talk about to address your question. Oh, there's plenty.
So
there's good and plenty.
Where do we start? Because I know I've got a rap sheet. Like I just like Forbidden Doors taking shape. Jay White. Oh, Jay White.
Hey, you want to work backwards from the most impactful thing, or you want to build up to the most outrageous shit?
We can go for the most impactful to the most outrageous. I like that order. Let's unwrap this box.
Because one of those are the same thing.
Oh shit.
Like let's keep it G. One of those are the same thing.
Fuck it, we here now. Let's go.
So you remember a couple episodes back when I said, and I didn't realize how much foreshadowing was going on when I said it. The way WWE handles its female talent is going to be the undoing of an empire.
Oh, boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the chickens have come home to roost.
Oh, man.
Chicken.
Boy, please. Whatever.
You see what, man? Listen. Somebody done told it. Somebody done told it. And for those of you who do not know what we are referencing and throwing jokes back and forth about, Vincent Kennedy McMahon and various members of the brain trust of WWE, namely John Laurinaitis, aka Johnny Ace, aka People Power, aka one half of the Dynamic Dudes with Shane Douglas,
aka brother of the late James Laurinaitis, aka Road Warrior Animal. You add the H when you say animal now, that way, because you acknowledge Hawk at the same time. Animal.
Yeah. Animal. So there's an investigation that's been launched by the WWE Board of Trustees behind a $3 million settlement that was paid out from Vince McMahon's personal funds to a person who let's call it hush money.
This person was an employee who was getting paid an alleged salary
a paralegal
of $100,000 per year that went up to $200,000 per year.
Price just went up
Upon the kicking off, the jumping off of being a jump off. Or romantically involved, depending on your vernacular.
Okay. So I have the story pulled up, so we'll go long form with it, because normally Wood does the reading out loud in class, so I'm gonna tag in. I'm gonna tag in for him because normally he does this. So why consider this one of the birthday gift offerings?
Why has that been synonymous lately with being a light skinned thing to do?
What, read aloud?
Reading aloud, yeah.
Well, because we can. Like, look, man. I will never be shamed for being able to read, write, or count.
Thank you.
It's some things you just not gonna make me feel self-confident about.
Oh man.
Or self-conscious. You make me feel self-confident.
Yeah, self-conscious.
You can't make me feel self-confident, and you really can't make me feel self-conscious either. But yeah, you're not gonna shame me for being able to articulate.
Yeah, buddy.
You bitch, you.
You bitch, you.
You ain't finna bring no skinism or colorism into the fact that I can perform well at a scholastic level. Yeah, you mean? If you don't get somewhere and study for the tax test, help your cheering with their long division for you come around this bitch trying to point fingers.
Oh, Starface ass. Oh man. Anyway, continue on your guy, because you said one word earlier.
Which one was that?
Outside of Vincent Kennedy McMahon, you said paralegal. That only means one other name, but go ahead. So Pete, I have the story. This one's probably the most fleshed out version of the story that I've heard today, and this one is care of the Wall Street Journal. So I'm going to read that one. The Wall Street Journal reports that WWE's board is investigating a $3 million hush money settlement that Vince McMahon paid a departing employee, in parentheses, a paralegal, over an alleged affair. The agreement is intended to prevent the woman from discussing her relationship with McMahon or making critical statements about him. The board's investigation reportedly began in April and has expanded into other non-disclosure agreements that involve misconduct claims made by former female WWE employees about McMahon and John Laurinaitis. So there is a paper trail, meaning this shit could get worse. Meaning this shit could go downhill quickly. Continuing, the board's preliminary findings show that McMahon used personal funds. So he didn't pull out of the cookie jar. He's just like, hey, I got it. Here you go. McMahon used personal funds to the former employee, including the one who made the allegations about Laurinaitis. So we don't know if they're one and the same. If the $3 million hush money is the same
same individual that's hitting up Laurinaitis about whatever. But
So,
but there's more.
oh no.
Wall Street Journal reports that the board members learned about the $3 million agreement through a series of anonymous
Wink.
emails from someone who said that the former WWE paralegal was their friend. Mustafa Ali.
Excuse me. Sorry.
So Mustafa Ali finally said retribution was going to happen one way or the other. Thought you brought me back here to get the work done, and now I'm working you.
Oh man.
Let's see. Paralegal is their friend. Yeah, that anonymous email shit. That's the most telling sign that what I'm talking to you about earlier.
That smells
setup.
That smells like all the Gruden.
It's coop season.
Like, here's the thing, man.
Check the temperature outside. It's hot. It's coop season. Or cool.
Ooh, keep it cool.
Here's the thing.
So I don't understand why people hold on to these emails only to hold on to these emails. Like, you want to keep the receipt? That's great. File them shits with your taxes.
Look, bruh.
And how often do should we file our taxes?
Once a year.
Once a year.
Unless you independently, if you're an independent contractor, you pay taxes throughout the year, but you can only file once.
Quarterly. But yeah, you only
pay
file
taxes filed once.
Man, it's not hard. So if you can do that shit for someone you don't like, why won't you do the shit for someone that you at one point had actual feelings for?
These ain't feelings. These is needs and desires. But I'm gonna let you know what's going on as soon as I finish reading this.
I have my own idea.
Absolutely, and I need to hear that because you prepped me that you had a stance that needed to be heard. One email stated that McMahon increased the woman's salary from $100,000 to $200,000.
If you're keeping score at home, yesterday's price
is not today's price.
Price just went up.
So she done delivered some $100,000 top.
Oh my god. Convertible.
I mean, keep it real. You did your job, or the job that you were doing at the time was to such satisfaction of the consumer that they doubled what you were making annually.
Bluetooth. I do it with no hands.
But we couldn't 100 plus talents for budget cuts.
So
hold what you got.
No. Hold on. I'm keeping score. I'm carrying the one literally. You got over 100 talents.
Well over 100.
Furloughed or not re-signed for budget cuts.
I mean,
when you got this kind of shit going on.
Well, look, Vince ain't paying nobody out of his pocket. That's number one. He ain't paying no talent out of his pocket. I don't give a damn who it is. I can probably count 3 people he might pay out of his pocket.
Maxi single, name them.
Dwayne Johnson, Steve Austin, and Mark Calloway.
Boy,
Joanna IE is loading.
I'm about to say if we have to have a hidden track, it's definitely Joanna IE.
Yeah, once the Rock will have the last track on the disc, and then if you wait another 2 minutes and 12 seconds, bam,
your CD start counting backwards, but there's nothing wrong with your player because there's music coming. Just know that.
All you hear is Roman getting his bars together.
You'll hear tribal drums.
Right. But yeah, like Vince ain't paying nobody out of his pocket. So I mean, we say this tongue in cheek, but like it's $200,000. It's $200,000 plus whatever the $3 million for the hush money. But what I don't understand is, well, no, I do understand. Is, when you're that rich, you play the game different. Like you do. You make sure all bases are covered. This is no different than what Jerry Jones went through about 2 months ago, where he had a child that he had supposedly conceived in the 90s, and that child was a full adult who was working as a staffer in Washington for a politician, and had been her mother had been paid apparently for a long portion of the child's life. She came of age. Well, she was totally taken care of financially, throughout time, and then decided that she was going to put all of this out because of whatever reason. Now, it didn't last long because hush money is hush money, and Gerald Wayne Jones don't play that shit.
Right on.
Like, look, you ain't finna look. One thing you ain't finna do is embarrass Gerald Wayne about nothing having to deal with his money. I like to drink Jimmy Walker, and I like to have a good time. Or Johnny Walker. I wouldn't recommend drinking Jimmy Walker. That might not work out.
Yeah, no, not even in dust form.
I know mine.
And a couple of months ago, we found Jerry Jones on the receiving end of a news story, being in a historically incorrigible part of the Dallas area at early one morning.
No, the street, the street is terrible, but where he was coming from is where the money was. Yeah, like don't put that on Jerry, because Jerry get his shit delivered like a pizza. What the fuck you mean?
I'm just saying, bruh.
I'm just saying. Look, Gerald Wayne has a lot of reasons that you can fire his ass up on any podcast and any reason, but now that ain't one of them. He is not on Harry Hines trying to score nothing. I'm not finna put that jacket on my dog. You're not finna disrespect my OG like this.
I've seen more from less money. Like, come on. I'm not.
Don't you put that evil on him, Ricky Bobby.
Let me fall back just a taste here. So we're talking about quote unquote potential writings on the wall. We're not alleging anything. We're literally quoting an article. This ain't even from a dirt sheet. This is from Bleacher Report.
No, this is from the Wall Street Journal.
Oh, well, there you go too.
we saw the original story from Bleacher Report, but damn that, ESPN put the shit out as we were doing this.
So as we're talking about this, it's circulating to larger. I hate to say this, outlets. More reputable media outlets than the ones that the wrestling industry tends to shy away from.
It's climbing up the ladder.
That said,
so by tomorrow it'll be on TMZ, and then it'll start to kind of do its dance through some of the major channels. I don't think it's gonna make it to Fox. It might make it to Fox News, maybe.
Here's a question that I have for you. I know the answer. But here's a question that I have for you.
All right.
It says that Vince McMahon is under investigation. Who in the hell would be investigating Vince McMahon?
It says the WWE board. So the other shareholders.
Typically,
before you light that motherfucking Roman candle. Let me get these last two paragraphs off, then we can go all the way off. A WWE spokesperson said that the company is cooperating with the board's investigation and that the relationship between McMahon and the woman was consensual. We ain't even denying that we was fucking off. There's no denial whatsoever that fucking off was taking place.
Okay.
The main thing is that it's consensual. Last little group of sentences, then you can go off.
No. Hold on, because I my question is going to be parked, but on that one.
You senior citizens is impatient, ain't you?
No, I'm coming back. Don't worry. So Shane McMahon, then Trips comes back, and then Stephanie leaves. Continue.
WWE lawyer Jerry McDivitt,
there's the name,
reportedly says that the woman hadn't made any claims of harassment against McMahon and that WWE did not pay any monies, and that's in quotation marks, so that's a direct quote. WWE did not pay any monies to her on her departure. Done.
when you have a board of directors,
Right. Talk that corporate shit.
there are usually those who are either no longer in positions of power who are also on the board, but in most cases, there are typically 3 to 4 members of the corporate hierarchy that are on said board. Those boards usually consist of about 11, 12, or 13 people, depending on the board that you're dealing with. Can you name some of these positions or some of these titles?
Yeah, CEO, CFO.
That's 2.
Those are the ones that matter. Everybody else just kind of VP, executive VP.
How about the president?
Yes.
Because the president and the CEO aren't always the same.
No.
The chairman and the CEO aren't always the same.
Not always.
That said, Vincent Kennedy McMahon is the chairman and CEO of World Wrestling Entertainment. But if I'm not mistaken, there is a man who is the president whose last name is, not to be confused with Tony. Sidebar shit. Tony Khan taking pictures with Triple H.
But recent pics?
Nah, I don't think it's recent, but this shit's still circulating. But that's just fucking
funny.
hilarious. But
Funny.
but Nick Khan is, if I'm not mistaken, I'll do my Googles while I'm talking, but I believe Nick Khan is listed as president of World Wrestling Entertainment.
What did I say to you when you first sent me this and I read it? And my response was,
You said it sounds, and that is his title. You said it sounds like a setup, and
my first words were, "This is a hit."
Oh, you did say hit.
This is a professional hit.
Yeah, you did.
And
say
then I
hit.
followed it up and doubled down and say this reads like a setup.
So
And the more stories and the more versions I heard just supported it. So this Wall Street Journal version was like, yeah, this is a snuff.
So I reserved my comments on that specifically just for the show, just to come back with you. Absolutely, I 100% agree with you. There is nothing that comes from this but the removal of Vincent Kennedy McMahon from power. How many positions Vincent Kennedy McMahon holds within WWE remains to be seen, but his immediate impact on absence will be reverberated for, I would say years, but at this point I'm going to say months. And we don't know, again, what is going to come of this. We're only speculating. We're not trying to start shit. But we've seen this happen before in different situations. Corporate, non-corporate, street. It doesn't...
Just talking about what we talking about.
It doesn't end well. And for someone north of 75 years old who's still coming to work and having 100% attendance,
Fam.
your days are numbered, fam.
I mean, literally and figuratively, but now, okay, just for 1 second, digest this for me. We're on the verge of watching 3 McMahons be ousted in 90 days.
90?
Maybe a little longer.
I'm about to say, I would whoa, shit, I just thought about it. Mania wasn't that far. Damn.
Look, Shane is the only thing that makes it extend past 90 days.
I keep forgetting that it's 100 degrees here. We still haven't hit summer yet. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, what's the date of the Royal Rumble? Because it might be at the end of January.
That's January. Yeah, that's January. I can tell you that's January. But there was talks of him at Mania though.
But they fired his ass right after
Mania. After Royal Rumble. So, yeah, you're right. So that's January.
What was the date? The actual date of the Royal Rumble?
All right, Royal Rumble 2022 was held on January the 29th.
So he got fired in February because it was the following week.
So yeah, so even still, so that puts us about 120 days, give or más o menos.
Right. So essentially in a quarter, give or take spring break and a summer vacation.
Worst case scenario, we'll say a trimester, just for shits and giggles.
Fine, perfect. It's just we're dealing with discussing things involving women.
Hey,
Trimester.
wow.
Who else is gonna go through a trimester?
People, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, hey, look,
Shit.
I love you, but I will never lie to you. but look, in such a short amount of time, and 90 days would have been absolutely poetic justice. Shane's out of there. And it's not necessarily like it's a difficult thing to get Shane out of there, because Shane has bounced on WWE more than one occasion. But then you get Stephanie to leave and delete all her work history off Indeed, which that's kind of...
That's signifying that your entire legacy under the company that's a family company was a black eye to you.
What it makes me feel like is she knew this was coming. Like, that's the smoke before the fire. Because being a woman, like, and the whole thing comes from infidelity. Had you been faithful in your marriage, the contract, oh my God, the contract you broke. Oh my God.
Listen,
it just came full circle for me.
Listen, hold on.
What did I say last week about what marriage was? A binding agreement between two people.
Yep.
So now nobody, and I do mean nobody, can hold any sort of grudge with Naomi and Sasha, because, hey, if they're in breach of contract,
so is Vince. The bars. The bars. Oh, the bars.
Oh, we've been out here, man. We've been out here breaking
Active.
down. Rich, do you hear me? It's been Easter egg season for real around here. But Stephanie deletes her work history off of LinkedIn. I don't know why I said Indeed. That's just where you apply for a writer's job. So she deleted her work history.
Not that you know anything about that or anything. No, not at all.
I mean, when I did mine, it was still LinkedIn, but still. But Stephanie, she's out the door. And Trips, even though he came back for Mania, he's already said, I will never work in the same capacity that I did previously. So there is no rise to power. Like, Trips is not going to be he won't be the replacement for McMahon. He might be another version if he sticks around for whatever's about to happen next.
And first of all, I truth be told, Vince McMahon is irreplaceable.
Facts.
Like, you cannot have the totality of shifts on the clock that man has on a daily basis and try to replace him with another body. It is impossible because he's inhuman.
Facts.
That said, y'all better line up a few.
Look,
that's all I'm saying.
Shit about to be different. Now, okay, put all these cards on the table. This isn't a situation where he's, air quotes, taking it from anybody. This is supposedly a consensual situation. It is infidelity. He is cheating on his wife, who is out being a politician,
which allegedly wasn't the first time this has happened to a degree. Not to this degree, but to a degree.
Which, you know what, that brings up that other quote I gave you earlier today. Like, we had so much pre-production after this shit came out. I say, you got to figure he's in his late 70s and been doing this shit since the late 70s.
On his own. Like, because I remember it's like shit from 76, 77 from Capitol when they were wrestling, when they doing shows in DC under his father's umbrella.
Whoa, stop. I'm not talking about nothing wrestling. I'm talking about out here fucking off on his old lady.
Oh, my bad.
Take it easy. Take it easy. He's in his late 70s and he been doing this shit since the 70s.
Born in 1945.
You feel me? Anybody born in 1945 was doing what in 1970?
Fucking or doing
fucking
dope.
Around.
Fucking or doing dope.
If not both, one after the other, or simultaneously at the same damn time.
How do we know this? Well, I'm a product of the 70s, and I actually have a brother and a sister, both born in the 70s. So there.
I mean, as am I. So yeah, straight like that. And then I'll go on and say, how do you just now have some shit go public? Because, like, all the lecherous shit that he's probably done enough lecherous shit in the last 20 years to cover a lifetime. He is the wrestling equivalent of Hugh Hefner.
Hell, he's done enough during the Attitude Era, and that's if you want to end it at 2006. If
you could go from 2000 until yesterday and probably get Wilt Chamberlain numbers.
Oh man,
probably. Like I said, he's been doing it that long. How do you just now have some shit go public? Because somebody wants it to be public. McDivitt has never been this careless with anything. Flight from hell, plane ride from hell. None of that.
You can stop with that one because there is nothing that you can like, especially after the shitstorm the show caused. That man is bulletproof. There's a reason he's still on board. In fact, hasn't he been on board for damn near 30 years?
He was at the steroid trial.
This is what I'm talking about.
So he closer to 40 than 30.
Man, he might be WWE employee number 2. Number 1 was Howard Finkel, rest in peace.
Shit, yeah, you might be right. Is McDivitt old enough to have been Vince Sr.'s lawyer too?
Nah. Well, let's see. Vince Sr. died. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see how old this man is.
Now, if you tell me he's 56, I'm gonna be like, the fuck?
Nah, he's 72.
See, running buddies.
So
6 and 8 running mates.
It's very possible, age-wise, that he would have been out of school long enough to practice and actually be counsel for Vincent J. McMahon.
Because for him to pull off all the shit he pulled off with the Territory Era and the first WrestleMania, he had a lawyer right up in his hip pocket. And it's probably, if I had to guess, I don't have intimate knowledge. I'm pretty sure I know who I can ask. But if I had to guess, I would guess the lawyer for all of that is the same lawyer he has now.
Suave, we have more breaking news.
Who broke it?
The internet. In all shapes, forms, and sizes.
Why ain't put that hoe back together then? They gonna break. If you're gonna be breaking shit, you ought to be, classy enough to put it back together.
We already talked about this shit earlier in the episode, and the fact that we're having to come in and post edit this shit in, it has got to be, it's major.
It's a busy day in these internet streets.
What we feared has come to full fruition.
Who feared?
The world.
We knew what the fuck was gonna happen. We told you. Told you exactly how this was gonna go. You've seen entirely too many examples of it in the free world.
Fuck the free world.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now, approximately 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Friday, June 17th. Yeah, my lord.
Yeah, my lord.
I said, yeah, my lord.
Yeah, my lord.
20 and 20.
Amen.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon has stepped down as as Chief Executive Officer of and Chairman of World Wrestling Entertainment. In his place, in the interim, a familiar name to this sphere. You may know her as one who just left the company and erased her whole bio, company related, not even a month ago. Taking Daddy's helms, no pun intended. Stephanie McMahon is now the interim CEO of World Wrestling Entertainment.
CEO. Yeah, that's how we're gonna say it from now on. CEO. CEO.
Also slated for SmackDown tonight.
Smack Deezy
is a statement presumed to be a live statement
I would not go that far.
from Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Now allow me to put this in y'all ear.
So,
So I would not send Vincent Kennedy McMahon out into that minefield of an open air arena with a live microphone on live television.
where are they tonight?
Does it matter?
No.
Just be thankful you're not in Chicago or fucking Philadelphia.
Boy, of all the cities, those two in particular.
In particular, be thankful you're not there. I'm not sure where they are on the loop right now. But
I want to say they're on the border, but I can double check that.
because of the sensitive nature of the content that is causing this live appearance, I would say that this needs to be a short, sweet, and concise apology, but pre-taped. Played at the top of the show, fade off, hit the signature, go on with the show.
Ooh, they are in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
You're close enough to Chicago that some people might have made some last minute plans.
It's a 5.5 hour drive as the crow flies from Chicago.
It's some motherfuckers in Chicago die hard enough to make that 5.5 hour drive.
There's some dieharders from Milwaukee that make that 5.5 hour drive.
Because you already were gonna get the tribal chief, so that was already
Your
a
daily
selling point
acknowledgement.
off the top. So you're gonna get a grand championship title defense. You're gonna get to see your tribal chief.
Grand Champ, love it.
Yeah, I'm not backing off that.
That's what that is.
What we doing. Yeah, WWE Grand Champion, your tribal chief Roman Reigns. You get to see him in action. You get a title defense on free TV, and now Vince McMahon is essentially going to face the music. Now, here's why I feel like it won't be a pre-tape. What is the biggest issue that WWE has had? Say for the last, let's lowball it and say for the last 2 years.
Attendance?
There's something else that ranks a little higher.
Ratings?
Bingo. And because of television ratings being what they are, and the people involved wanting what they want, Vince McMahon on live television with a live mic, with a live audience shooting live rounds
On Fox.
on Fox is probably the biggest reason to it's a ratings draw. Like, I'm gonna watch SmackDown and I ain't gave a fuck.
This is the single biggest in WWE. The single biggest you need to watch this episode moment since Brock Lesnar took on Kofi Kingston that I can think of. Am I wrong in that?
You got to give me like at least 30-45 minutes notice when you say shit like that, so I can.
I wasn't expecting to even think that even hear this conversation, so we're even. But I mean, just let's go back to the Fox SmackDown era. People knew Kofi was about to have his ass handed to him. Didn't realize it was going to be in 8 seconds. No one expected Cain Velasquez.
I mean, no, but here's the thing. It's even bigger than all of that. Like, yeah, Fox rolled out the red carpet, and yes, they had The Rock on episode 1 and all those different things.
But no, but what I'm asking is, has there been a moment in WWE since then, since the inception of SmackDown bringing Fox on, Fox bringing SmackDown on, that's worth all eyes and all ears, whether you're a wrestling fan or not, to be gazed upon the WWE product in real time?
Probably not.
That's my point.
But that's also a condemning statement of just what WWE's been doing. Like, there's nothing. This particular situation, this is not a wrestling thing. This transcends all wrestling storylines.
This is life.
Yeah, this is life, and there are going to be people who have not watched wrestling in a many a moon that because of this story, and now the announcement that Vince McMahon will be on SmackDown to address the WWE universe in one form or another, you're going to see people come back that had long since been stopped dealing with WWE, even before the move to Fox.
This could possibly be the nail in the coffin of the greatest story never told.
You think?
So we've heard rumors of, or speculation, not even rumors, but speculation of a Vince McMahon biopic. We know there's...
Oh, that's posthumous.
There are things that Vince McMahon... Or there was one that was talked about, like, current.
I know, but what I'm saying is you ain't getting shit now.
Yeah, that because the whole story's changed. Like, we're talking about not just this, but allegedly in 1986, the first female WWF referee was asked to perform fellatio on one VKM, and when she refused, she was allegedly raped. There's also stories of an alleged storyline that Vince or Shane was the father of Stephanie's unborn child. You heard me correctly.
Yeah, an incest storyline that was
scrapped.
Thankfully scrapped.
Brought to you by the same company who brought you Katie Vick. So are these things too far-fetched to believe?
You know it's in their DNA.
Literally.
See what I did there? I'm surgical with this shit. I'm trying to think of the last time like anything this major took place on WWE television.
We just talked about this not even 2 days ago, literally on the same episode, about
how shoes drop quickly,
how reckless things have been over the years, and now the floodgates. Like,
could it be like, and you know we never speak this guy's name on the show, but could it be that was the last time like there was a real earth-shaking type transcending event?
Yes. That's one of those things.
I can't think of another one other than maybe Roman's announcement.
Roman's announcement is the only thing that remotely came close to that. Yeah. But Eddie comes to mind too. Like, you gotta.
I mean, because wrestling deaths, unfortunately, are somewhat commonplace.
Yeah.
What happened with the guy that we don't talk about, that transcended wrestling because that was a much larger and more grim situation.
We've said it before. Things you can't beat in a talent competition starts with God and kids.
Right.
And Child was involved with this.
You sing gospel music, or you sing gospel music, or you have kids do anything. Chances are you're not winning if you're not doing one of those two.
Now, granted, this wasn't a talent competition, but a kid was involved, and there was innocence there that was lost because of the situation. I don't remember the date, but I remember exactly where I was when I saw that Raw. And I remember my reaction watching that Raw, and I did not even change for commercial. I also remember the subsequent statement the next night on SmackDown that refuted everything that Raw stood for.
Yeah. This is
dark, bro.
This is
the dark side of the ring. This is the dark side of the ring that nobody wants, but everybody needs to see.
But everybody needs to get. Man. Like, you gonna have to get these bars. Now, and as we've stated in the episode, like everything, all the transgressions and like wonky ass energy that's been directed towards women, like it's all like karma's a motherfucker, ain't it?
it's even funnier how you tongue in cheek wanted to name this episode "Old Man River."
Wanted to.
Well, you're going. It has been dubbed such already.
You got any better suggestions?
Especially now? No, sir.
Okay, thank you. This has been my TED Talk. Like, look, I just want people to understand that, like, this is going to be a cultural moment that lives with us as wrestling fans, potentially for the rest of our natural lives, because
this is a shift in business. This has catastrophic ramifications in the world of business.
Well, kind of, but at the same time, what ended up happening this morning gave me a little more hope against what I thought was going to happen. So, when the heir apparent was named as Stephanie McMahon, that took a lot off of what I thought was going on, or what I kind of had an inclination that was going on. I still feel like it's a professional hit. No different than Jerry Jones and his illegitimate daughter's story that came out about a month or two ago. Same as, Gruden in Oakland. Same as anything that goes on with the Washington Commanders or Commandos or whatever the fuck they are.
What's better than plucking one?
Plucking two?
Absolutely correct, sir.
All right.
Why settle for second best when you can get all the heads at the same table at the same time? I don't think we're done. I don't think we're done by a long shot, Steve Austin.
I don't. Okay. I expected Khan to get the call. I expected him to get the tap on the shoulder. But I didn't expect anything to happen this fast.
So the common theme, what's been the common theme with two major backstage figures with WWE that have departed over since the beginning of April?
You said what's the
common theme? Leaving to spend more time with family.
Yeah, something like that.
One lasted a week, the other lasted a month.
Well, look, there's one is like spending more time with family means taking a job that has me out on the road less days.
We know that now. We didn't know that then.
The other one 2 days ago, the other one looked like, I think I'm just tired of dealing with this shit. Now it looks more like, well, I knew this was coming, so I probably should have just gotten out of the way. And now I have to come back and save this shit. But my whole thing about thinking that Khan was going to be the person who assumed control in an interim sense, that was what had me like, okay, you pretty much severed all three heads off the dragon, and then, you set the whole nest on fire. Because Trips was gone, NXT is now something else. Shane, up out of there. Stephanie said, okay, I'm good, I'm gone, I'm good. And now you got Vince in crosshairs. Which, okay, let's keep it all the way 1,000. As far as we know right now, he hasn't done anything illegal.
Nothing illegal. Now. Nothing illegal. The issue came about, and this is the only question that I have about the situation, and it really means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things if we got into this point, is if this $3 million was hush money, why do we know about it?
Because this is a hit.
John Laurinaitis also under investigation. Kevin Dunn is allegedly under investigation, but he's not even an employee anymore.
No, update on that with Kevin Dunn. He's not actually on the board, so him selling his stock and the stock that he unloaded in April or May or whenever he did it, it has to be approved by the board for you to do it. So one, he's not involved with the investigation that's going on John Laurinaitis or Vince McMahon or any of those other people. Secondly, he's not on the board at all. So him selling those stocks is not insider trading. So he's basically had his name cleared, and it's just he dumped off some stock. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't go in a different direction and still find evidence of insider trading, but the reasoning that they had him kind of listed as a potential person being investigated, that's no longer it.
Let me read you, because we always give you our commentary, but we also give you the facts that are on the table. Let me read you Vince's statement from multiple media outlets. I'm assuming this is either a written statement or a press conference, what have you, but multiple media outlets that are not wrestling related have reported this exact same statement. So here we go. Quote, I have pledged my complete cooperation to the investigation by the special committee, and I will do everything possible to support the investigation. I have also pledged to accept the findings and outcome of the investigation, whatever they are.
I mean, so now that begs the question, how, now that's the written, very concise, that's a lawyer, that's a McDivitt special.
Oh, that's number 3?
Yeah, that's the number 3. Now, how much different is the statement you get on SmackDown?
Well, and I'm providing that for context. Now, here's Stephanie's comeback. I love this company, and I'm committed to working with the independent directors to strengthen our culture and our company. It is extremely important to me that we have a safe and collaborative workplace. I've committed to doing everything in my power to help the special committee complete this work, including marshaling the cooperation of the entire company to assist in the completion of the investigation and implement its findings. WWE and its board of directors take all allegations of misconduct very seriously. The independent directors of the board engaged in independent legal counsel and assist them with the independent review. In addition, the special committee and WWE will work with the independent third party to conduct a comprehensive review of the company's compliance program, HR function, and overall culture. The last part of that was actually just a statement from WWE.
Yeah. So
quick, to the point, serves the purpose, has the changing of the guard.
Right. And
what can we expect? What can we expect from an on-screen perspective, though? Not necessarily for just this, but long term.
As far as who?
Vince is gone. We know that. Stephanie,
I'm not so sure.
You're not convinced of that?
Nah, this is America, bro. I'm not convinced. Now he has violated one of the top 2 things you can't do in 2022. Again, and one of them is mishandle women. Can't do it. So for that reason, he'll go away for a little while. Because he hasn't done anything illegal. And okay, I take that back. He didn't mishandle the woman that signed the NDA. It's a morality thing. Just because he's a married man. So the idea of morality, you've compromised morality. You didn't do anything illegal. You didn't do anything you're going to jail for. It's the way you look in the eyes of the people that contribute to your stock profits. So the board's going to feel some type of way, and if they feel like you being in a position of power is contradictory to the bottom line of earning money, that's why we'll have you step down. The sooner you step down, the sooner you make public statements, the sooner you can get on the back end of this. So I understand why everything's happening, but I'm also not convinced that Vince is done, because he's come back from worse.
They've sold the Connecticut mansion / compound.
Shit is high. We're on the loading dock of a recession.
I don't think it really matters to keep that house when it's essentially just Linda and Vince in the house, and Vince is only there maybe a day or 2 a week.
actual. They're at condo townhouse, loft vibes now, and Vince doesn't sleep. When do you expect him to go home?
Like even a California split level with about 2,500 square feet could be a bit much for them. They really just need a kitchen and a bed.
I'm not even all that convinced that everybody spends a whole lot of time in the same space, because Vince is a workaholic. We've seen it. Can't take that away from him, no matter what you think about what he does with the time he puts in. You know he's a workaholic. Same is true for Linda in politics. So it's not, I don't think there's a situation where they're just cohabitating to a point that they need upper level massive mansion shit.
No, not at all.
I'd be convinced they spend maybe as many days apart as they do together.
365?
Well, then there's that. I mean, it is a contributing factor into how we got into this situation. So selling off property, that's just getting off some shit that's gonna basically have you hemorrhaging money. So that don't shock me either.
And of course, they've been married since 1966, and there have been,
Didn't I tell you he was in his late 70s doing this shit since the 70s?
Well, yeah, he's 76, and of course they're still legally married. But you knew this. It didn't take an article from any website to know that they have been separated. Like, you don't have. Go ahead.
Nothing about what we've learned about air quotes Vince McMahon in the last 48 to 72 hours is anything that we ever thought was any different. And whether it was because you bought into the Mr. McMahon character far too well or far too deeply, or you just know the rules of engagement when you're dealing with rich corporate guys.
Was it
certain things just?
And I'm guilty of this to a degree. It's a whole other conversation though. But do you think that he bought too much into the Mr. McMahon character? Or has the Mr. McMahon character always been who he was in real life?
I'll answer that with a question.
Uh-oh.
When putting together a wrestling persona, what is the normal rule of thumb that they give you?
Be as much of yourself as possible.
Be you with the volume on 10. We know that to be true about Steve Austin, right?
Oh, so much so.
We know that to be true about Ric Flair.
To a fault.
We know that to be true about The Rock.
To his advantage.
So, I mean, you pick. We know that to be the truth about John Cena.
To both his fault and to his advantage.
Okay, so that's Austin, that's Rock, that's Cena, Flair. Throw Mark Calloway in there too. The Undertaker.
I'm not so sure about that one. There's a couple of different, but he might be more of the exception than the rule. Regardless, he lived the gimmick for 30 years.
He lived the gimmick, but okay, that is a conversation for another time. But small asterisk on that. Like, name what part of the Undertaker that isn't a part of Mark Calloway in real life.
There we go. Okay, that I can't do.
That's why
other than the illusion that the Undertaker is the
Grim Reaper,
right? He is God fearing, so there's truth and irony there.
Right. We may have to do a deep dive on that. Pause. But okay, if art's imitating reality or reality is imitating art, however we got to that point, we do know that whether celebrity or not, money and absolute power corrupt absolutely. when you have this type of money and this type of privilege and you are not used to motherfuckers telling you no, what part of no am I supposed to accept?
The one that actually says no.
And ain't nobody done that.
Well,
in this instance, in the instance that we're talking about right now, ain't nobody said no.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a situation where someone was salaried, had salary doubled,
hit a lick,
and then hit a lick after lick.
Literally and figuratively hit a lick. Yeah, I mean, look, we ain't gonna pull no punches. Everybody getting hit in the face today.
Companionship, happiness has no price.
Oh, but companionship.
Happiness has no price. Companionship? Oh, there's a dollar amount attached.
Yeah, every time. And sometimes you might be able to split it up on Afterpay, but can't promise you that either. So now you've got. Do you remember when, like, you remember the details around what happened with Amazon, what happened with Bezos?
No, not particularly.
Okay, well, I don't have them in front of me, so fuck it. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to misquote anything about it, because that's like, yeah, we ain't got time to be burning no bridges. This is not the first time this has happened. Won't be the last time. When you have access to a certain amount of money, to access to fuck you money, you tend to say fuck you to a lot of societal constraints. Remember we were talking about the whole thing with Sasha and Naomi, and I kept saying either someone in the chain of command is not following Vince's directives, or Vince is just giving lip service. And I was like, someone there is taking the bullet for Vince, and Vince is putting on the smiley face for the talent, because that seems to be his reputation. He's very much, him and Jerry Jones are like, I'd be shocked if they weren't like cousins. I mean, Vince is from the Carolinas. Jerry's from Arkansas.
Vince was from the Carolina. His mother resided in Texas for years.
And years.
And years.
I'd be shocked. I know at the very least they're friendly acquaintances, because you don't do that kind of business that close together on repeatedly. You don't do that.
$1 billion revenue exchange within 6 years.
That'll make you friends with a lot of motherfuckers you didn't think you'd be friends with.
If only for a few days, but yes, it will make you friends real quick. And you talking about that kind of revenue exchange within not even in one day, but we're talking about 2 days within 6 years. Man, 99.9% of you will never.
Give it 3, because you got the night of 32, then night 1 of 38, and night 2 of 38. Yeah, 3 days. That's a hell of a 3-day weekend to be turning over $1 billion. But yeah, just I'm intrigued by this, like, literally, and this is the part that's like, it's gonna get lost in all of this. The front office storylines are better than anything on television. The biggest heel in all of wrestling is Nick Khan. The second biggest heel in all of wrestling is Vince McMahon. The third biggest heel in all of wrestling is Johnny Ace.
Stephanie, for some odd reason, is about to come into a bed of cheers.
You think?
I really think Stephanie is about to walk into this position. She might sabotage it for her own volition, but nah. I got a feeling that Stephanie is about to walk into this within the most empathetic state possible, to cater to the universe emotionally, not from a creative standpoint,
then it won't matter. if you're not creatively committed to being empathetic to the WWE universe, it doesn't fucking matter. Now,
corporate environment, this is damage control. I think it's going to come, but I think it's going to come with her doing the same shit she's been guilty of for the last 20 years, which is putting herself over.
I expect Stephanie to hit a home run here. I do.
All the way around?
I do.
I can tell you she's married well enough to do that.
You see what I'm saying? Like, she is the proverbial monkey wrench in the Nick Khan Coop season. If you
free up, well, actually, okay, let me stop real quick. Do you continue with the proposed releases?
I mean, it's business as usual.
Okay, I'll up the ante a little bit.
I give you 2 weeks. Everybody who was finna cut, I give you 2 weeks. State of execution. You still going? You got another 2 weeks on to maybe change my mind.
Sidebar: if you're on Mondays and Fridays and you're making $250,000 a year, I really want to know what that number is for being in Orlando on Tuesday. It's got to be closer to like 75, 80. What you think?
It gets dicey. Like, I mean, are you fresh out the PC, or you just a talent who took a vacation?
Let's say Braun Breaker, who's fresh out the PC and the poster boy.
I'm sure he might not be making Monday and Friday money, but he's definitely making more money than anybody else is there.
Okay.
Should be anyway.
Okay. I don't want to say Liv Morgan because she's still Apollo Crews.
Apollo should still be making what he was making anyway.
You think he should? Okay.
Yeah. He's not taking a pay cut to go to Tuesday. So no one's doing that.
All right. So here's, although you could because the travel's there. Oh wait, no, they're back on the road again. Okay, never mind.
You kiss my ass. I'm not taking less money for any ideas you have just to send me to Tuesdays.
All right. So what I'm getting
I make what I make.
What I'm getting at is this: if you have these proposed cuts or these alleged cuts that are coming, do you take those funds that are freed up and procure some more backstage talent to go alongside your arsenal of executives that have just been shifted again, i.e. Triple H and Stephanie? Do you let?
Who are you going to get better than the people? Who are you going to get better than the people you already fired?
Yes.
So
that's what I'm saying. Not. So when I say the releases, I'm talking about the talent, not the actual production.
So
would you go back and get those same people to recreate, or would you try to bring up some more people who are like recently retired to actually have a mind for the business?
I think you have to take this opportunity to get younger at every possible position.
I like it.
Back to pro sports. This is your one opportunity for actual long-lasting culture change, because Johnny Ace ass is out of there. If Vince had to step down within 72 hours, you know it ain't long for Johnny Ace. He out of there. So you're gonna need a new head of talent relations.
Who is that gonna be? Who's the best fit for a VP of talent relations right now?
You want me to tell you who it is, and he ain't nowhere in the building anymore?
Talk to me.
He'll be doing commentary next Wednesday.
Damn, talking about JR, are you?
Damn right, that's what I'm talking about.
Nah, man.
The bet, and then consider how I'm gonna lay this out. The best stretch of talent relations in the history of WWE was when?
2002 to 2006.
Who was the head of talent relations?
Jim Ross.
What is the new NIL policy of WWE? Who does that policy target? Who are they targeting with NIL?
College kids. And that's where Jim Ross shined at recruiting, was athletes who were in college.
Because he is a fucking college football, college athletics savant, guru, obsessed fucking machine. Now, age is the only thing that kind of takes him out of that conversation. You know, like I just said, you want to get younger at everything. It's very much possible that age is what takes him out of it. But that doesn't mean that he can't come back in an advisory situation, especially since we're nearing the end of his commentary contract. We don't necessarily know if he's gonna re-up or they're gonna try to do something else. Gotta figure that out. But that would be one of the people I would definitely look at. Anybody else is gonna be trial and error because no one else has done it over the last 20 years other than the person that's about to be fired and the person that's working in Jacksonville.
You also just said though that this is the time to take the opportunity to get younger at every corner,
every level.
But you want to bring Jim Ross in, who's 70?
Didn't I just say age is probably what would keep him out of it? I prefaced that. I already said that part.
Okay, all right.
But I also said he's the most qualified. He knows what the job takes. He's done the job for a long time. He essentially he's the Bill Parcells of WWE.
This is true.
He can buy the groceries, cook the dinner, and serve it. So at the very least, he could. If you had someone who was younger, let's say Trips is not going to be up for that because we already said he's not going to assume that type of a role. But take someone like who's someone like relatively recently retired that's pretty smart.
Bully Ray. Being an asshole aside, he really has a good mind for the business.
I would look more to him for something creative, not in talent relations.
In that case, Devon for talent relations. He seems to have a good pulse on what's happening backstage. Seems to be a good go-to guy. You really want to
fuck some shit up?
Taker.
Okay. Nah.
No? Nah. The one person who held the locker room together for the last 20 years wouldn't be a good person to be a VP of talent relations?
None of the people that are in the locker room now have the same philosophy and mindset as the people that were in the locker room when he was in charge. So having that old school mentality when it comes to talent relations, it's not the best blend. Taker is like real life old school in every aspect. He's Vince's shooter.
This is a fact.
So you gonna take that guy and put him in charge of a bunch of 30 and unders?
If Vince says, I want ketchup on my steak, Taker says Heinz. There's no choice. It's Heinz.
This is all I'm saying. I would have said somebody like Kurt Angle. I don't think Kurt Angle really has
I don't think he has a knack for the business.
I just don't think that's his passion. But at the same time,
yeah, same.
At the same time, being a former Olympian, he can speak to a collegiate athlete and say, "Well, look, this, you can sell them on the fact that real athletes participate in this arena. It's not about acting or whatever you thought it was back here. I'm a 2-time Olympian, and I was able to do this, and this, and show them the bank statement."
Let me ask you this. So if you were to look at the roster in totality and say one person who's been underutilized on the roster in action could potentially be the biggest name to be an HR level executive within the company to level set all of the talent going forward for, say, at least the next 5 years, who would have the propensity to do that successfly?
You want someone an active talent?
An active talent who's underutilized, but is highly respected by his peers. Or her peers, for that matter.
Uncle Allen?
I'm not mad at that.
And Uncle Allen has already said he doesn't want to go anywhere else. He wants to finish this contract and then move into the front office. So you got to look at all the different things at play. Like, it can't just be someone that we like. It also has to be someone that that falls in line with the thread pattern of the fabric of WWE.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you who's perfect for this role. I'm gonna tell you who's absolutely perfect for the vice president of telerations for WWE, but we can't get him for at least another year or two.
Who?
Regal.
You see how, like, some of this shit would have just been perfect. Like, Trips had his entire cabinet set. He knew what the
Mount Weather. You know what Mount Weather is?
What it is?
Mount Weather is an alleged underground society with a full presidential cabinet with about 1 million people in the event of something catastrophic happening to the American to America as a country. All 17 branches of the cabinet from president on down is ready to be replaced on a moment's notice. Trips NXT was WWE's Mount Weather.
Yep.
If the bottom fell out of the earth of WWE, NXT was ready to come up from the underground.
And Hurricane Khan blew that shit out into the middle of the ocean. Them days is over, so now you gotta figure it out. But we can decide and throw names back and forth about, you know, who can fit what position. The fact of the matter is, if you don't take this opportunity to get newer, fresher, younger, and
bigger, stronger, faster,
yeah, and cleaner on paper. If you don't take this opportunity to get cleaner on paper, it's your own fault, and whatever happens after that, you're gonna have to live with. Because now, how does this start affecting people when they decide, do I want to re-up here? You got somebody like Roman who just signed a new deal, but it's for far fewer dates. More money, less dates. What's to stop him from deciding, you know what? This whole Roman Reigns thing is kind of, it's lost its luster for me. I'm going to call my cousin and see how much work I can get as Joe NOI.
After what he just pulled off.
Like, because let's keep it 1,000. That's what we felt like was the end game anyway.
Yo, speaking of a cousin, Rocky, shouts out to him. He just bought his mama and Tamina both brand new dream houses.
Because that's what we out here doing. We building foundations and buying houses, and we having that.
The only thing that would be doper than that is using that as leverage to prove that he's the real head of the table for WrestleMania 39.
You think it ain't?
I'm taking my story, real life fuck you money to tell you fuck you in front of millions and millions of fans.
Hey, look here on the cool. How much could this potential situation fuck up that WrestleMania main event? The Rock doesn't want to be tied to anything that gets this ugly, because we're 2 or 3 steps into phase 1, and 72 hours after just the idea was brought into the public forum, Vince McMahon steps down. Like, you cut the head off the snake. That's like playing Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and you sleep Tyson with one punch.
The very first time you play it.
Some shit that just don't happen.
Ever.
Like, that's unheard of. But if there's any sort of idea that this might get uglier, people are going to start to distance themselves from the brand for this to cool off. So some of these partnerships are going to get different. Some of these collaborations will get different. The Rock could just say, you know what?
The sponsors about to hit way different.
Way different.
I'd be interested to know how the verbiage in the NBC, Comcast, Universal / Fox contracts look as it relates to executive behavior.
I mean, you can't really do much other than have him. Once he steps down, there's not much else you can do. Which is why I say McDivitt is calling this fucking offense. He is like Andy Reid right now. He's calling this offense flawlessly.
I honestly think McDevitt is waiting for the opportune time to say, you know what, I'm officially done. I think that's gonna happen this year. As soon as the dust dies down from this, I think he is out.
Did we ever find out how old he was?
72.
Yeah, I mean, look, Father Time is gonna win every 2 out of 3 falls match you've ever heard. So he gonna be done at some point, no matter what. Now this
there's
this
gas.
Could either be
there's gas that runs out.
yeah, like this is either gonna be the cherry on top of his career sundae, or it's just gonna be like one guy who stayed on the field one play too long. But the way he's calling this is like flawless. There are NDAs in place. Nobody's done. Apparently, everything was consensual with this one person. Now we don't know how many additional NDAs and how many additional people that's attached to.
Who needs their fucking tongue cut out?
That's what they're working on now. I'm positive they are. I promise, I am positive they are working to find out who this anonymous friend of the paralegal is.
And I'm gonna tell you like this. Outside of the good friends over at EWAF, EWAF, Earth Weird as Fuck, if you will, there's not too many more podcasts that we actually talk about. Cornette this week will be must listen to. Go out of your way to find it.
Yeah, he gonna be active this week. It's just there's so much going on.
Cornette gonna have more fuck yous in the porn flick. Go ahead.
And then there's so much stuff that needs to come out. Because they say there's more NDAs. There's no number that we know about yet. Meaning there could be more people, more allegations, more people in positions of power that also have to come to the carpet to have their moment. Because Vince is done. Look.
Also more.
Because the price
just went up.
Hey, no cap. If Vince got on a plane, came to come to SmackDown, drop his apology, because I'm sure that's what it's going to be, got on the plane and flew out of the country, he has no more responsibility until there are court dates involved. And honestly, we've said, we don't see, as of right now, we don't see anything that he's done illegal. But it's a whole list of other people who had got to be walking around tight-assed. Laurinaitis, count your days. So start shifting around whatever else you need to, get your affairs in order, see if you can't get your nice little nest egg on the way out, but you done. Whoever else pops up in an NDA that Vince done had to pay out of his pocket for, your ass up out of here too. Like, keep it real, like you done. Anybody tied to an NDA with, inter-office relationships and whatever else, if you done had your tab paid by VKM, your ass is out of here. You done. Pack your shit. Say your goodbyes. They gonna talk about you in the group text that they send out for releases.
Talking about the good times that made us laugh.
All the memories alone don't change it. Yeah, looking ass.
Boy, get the production team ready for this video. Jesus Christ.
I want to know how many people you gonna have to take out of the signature.
Oh man.
Like, bruh, look, I don't watch court TV, and I'm not talking about just the network. I typically don't watch, trials live
shit,
and any of that shit. If any of this goes to trial, I will break that. I will break that rule, and I will watch this. This is fucking fascinating.
This is literally the best Dark Side of the Ring episode that will not be one episode. This is a whole season.
You see the irony in that? The karma, you shortstop season 4, and now they turned you into season 4.
Shortstopped it to create your own.
Well,
and you are season 1. Man, you gonna learn.
Today, tomorrow, and forever.
I see what you did there.
It's a cold lick, buddy. I hope everybody, I hope everybody got a war chest. I hope you've invested your money wisely. And for some of you that aren't in Stanford in the building anymore, but you still have a shaky history. Mark Carano. Who else? Just any of those executives that have been let go. Like, if you've got some shit, that Vince paid a tab on for you because of whatever the culture is up there, you might want to start paying attention, and hopefully you got something saved up, because your new employer hears about this, you might be done. Nobody wants to be tied to anybody that's tied to this. Even if it isn't illegal, it's immoral. And because of the country we live in, morals matter, even when they don't.
I was just about to say, they really don't. They really, oh man.
Facts.
Oh
Facts.
man.
But it's about the imaginary standard.
Or as Craig G so aptly put it in prose, the fragile ego. Here's what's crazy. As we're talking about this, I come across a random article that states WWE attorney Jerry McDevitt considering retirement. This is dated January 19, 2022. Is this more smoke, or is just a coming of age story? We don't know. However, here we are.
A couple questions. Do you think the board makes some sort of a decision, any kind of a decision, where McMahon is not who he is?
Elaborate. What do you mean not who he is?
Meaning, like, no longer in a active chairman sort of position. Because there are companies that gross more money that have had to do similar recently.
Considering that the entity of the WWE does not answer solely to Vincent Kennedy McMahon, the probability of your scenario of happening versus it not happening is much higher.
That's why I'm asking. And this anonymous friend who decided to make this public. So this investigation, according to the reports, has been going on since April. So you backdoor the biggest grossing WrestleMania ever with this.
Coincidentally, on the same week, you go to a house of 15,750 and manage to put in 3,100 plus for a live TV broadcast of Monday Night Raw.
Sheesh. I mean, look, I said it when you gave me those numbers. I was like, man, it's time to go back to 1993 venues, like some Hammerstein ballroom shit. Like,
Curtis Colwell, it is not a bad idea for WWE coming back to the North Texas area.
But you already know, with the way WWE does TV and the way just their structure is set up in a way to make money. So I don't know if they would accept any scenario that has them downsize the venues that they go to. Like, look at it like this. Rather than being a touring brand, they can still be a touring brand for the premium live events and so forth and whatnot. But how much stock would it add to Monday Night Raw if Monday Night Raw became a destination situation? Like, literally, I know the Hammerstein Ballroom, everything about it, and being in New York, there are certain things about it that don't make it
aesthetically appealing to a larger television production.
Nah, fuck all that. It's not conducive to a whole lot of extra money for them, and then just set up and breakdown is a bitch. I mean, I've heard the stories about how there's no not maintenance. There's no service elevator, so motherfuckers are taking pieces of the ring up by themselves, like one part at a time. Like it works completely against the machine that WWE has become. But you remember, what was it, Raw 25, right?
Yeah.
Where they had one show going on in one spot and then a separate setup going on
at the Manhattan Center.
Hammerstein, at the Manhattan Center. And it's a so it's a retro vibe. What if you went with that model and did like the Manhattan Center as basically like a Vegas residency?
So that's when you go back. So a couple of different things. We have to. They money. That's the main reason why they started running Madison Square Garden. They got priced out, and then on top of that, the Barclays Center was a more attractive, more appealing, more up to date facility.
Facts.
So if you want to try to keep things modernized, even in an attempt to save money and make it look more full, a place like the Manhattan Center or even Hammerstein would not be on the WWE's radar because they've been in business too long.
I'm not even saying necessarily go back to those same buildings because, like I say, we do know for either financial or convenience reasons that those venues have. WWE is outgrown dealing with those venues. Like, if I'm gonna have problems, I might as well have my own.
Yeah.
But the way I said the same way of a Vegas residency, why not fucking go to Vegas and have a fucking residency and just have people come to you every Monday?
Listen, I agree, and I think that would be super dope because it's only a 4-hour drive from Los Angeles, which makes it a 1-hour flight from Los Angeles, Reno, San Francisco, Oakland, Sacramento.
You want to be Hollywood any fucking way.
Yeah, even San Diego is a 1-hour flight to Vegas. Phoenix.
The Summer League is there. NBA Summer League is there, so you're going to get basketball players that'll come pull up on you. You're closer to the Lakers and LeBron. LeBron's a WWE fan. Like, you want to be Hollywood anyway, so why not?
But if you do that, though, now you're going to want to kick back from the state of Nevada, city of Las Vegas, for providing them with this much revenue from travelers, more than what they already would have, because you know the diehard WWE fan will make a pilgrimage there on the weekday to say fuck work, especially since we've got a large percentage of workforce still working virtually post pandemic.
And so
I'm
looking for the problem.
No. I don't see there being a problem other than the revolt of the fans nationwide. Now you're making an international company a regional powerhouse.
But listen to me. If you were in a 15,000 seat arena and you ain't clearing 4,000, the revolt started a long fucking time ago.
You're absolutely right, but that's one problem. We haven't seen the rest of the situation yet. We haven't gotten to SmackDown within the same week yet. If we start,
we just don't have hard numbers on everything. Like, this is
one time is a speed bump, is an obstacle. 4 times is a trend.
This ain't one time, no. This is just one time we got exact numbers.
No, but I'm saying as being this bad, it's the lowest attendance, I believe, in Monday Night Raw history since they started traveling. I believe. I could be wrong on that, but I know it's at least in the last 20 years.
To compound the lowest ratings in history. Like, and that streak's been running for a while.
That number is also skewed. The ratings number is also skewed because you're talking about live real-time numbers, and no one and on a larger scale watches in real time anymore. Like, we're talking numbers of upwards of 5, 6, 7 million people at a quarter hour. We'll never see those numbers again. Why? Because we have things like DVR and over the top.
I get what you're saying, but Monday Night Football ain't trying to hear that shit.
Monday Night Football is also the NFL. We're not talking about the NFL because you're not going to get the NFL on DVR, or you're not going to get people DVR in the NFL more so than you're going to have people going to bars to watch it live or going out of their way to watch it on their phones. I don't know. You got people that work evening and graveyard shift that'll DVR a game and watch it the next day.
Yeah, or they'll watch it.
But those don't count for ratings. DVRs don't count for ratings. So
here's what I'm saying. Here's where I am with the whole thing. you got to figure something out. Now, I understand you're arguing towards, it may not be quite that bad, but you're trending in that direction. The ratings show you're trending in that direction. Consumer feedback says you're trending in that direction, and now your attendance numbers are saying you're trending in that direction. You went from a stadium show in Vegas to the MGM Grand
to an arena. Yeah.
I'm saying. So why is you trying to talk me out of this shit?
I'm not trying to talk you out of it, but I'm trying to help you see things from different perspectives. So, like, again,
fuck that perspective. I've been wanting change since the Fiend got fucked off in Hell in a Cell 2019.
There's your grievance. There it is.
Burn this shit down.
There it is.
Burn this shit the fuck down and start over.
John Taffer.
I'm not here to play no games with this shit, man. Burn this shit down and start this shit the fuck over. I don't want to hear nothing about what might be, or it'll pick up, or see how it plays out. You're seeing how it's playing out.
Well, since we're talking about burning shit down,
this shit is melting.
While we're talking about shit melting, last week on the AEW Dynamite, we saw Matt Hardy book a tag team match for the AEW. I thought Christian booked it.
Well,
Christian and Matt Hardy together booked this match. We can call it two people who weren't even involved in the match decide to book a match that should have been actually, hold on, let me back up. For free TV, it would have been scary to see Jeff Hardy with Matt Hardy in a ladder match for the AEW tag team titles against Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy and the Young Bucks.
A car wreck is a car wreck.
Speaking of car wrecks, a swerving Jeff Hardy was pulled over and could not pass a sobriety test after blowing 4 times the legal limit, hence being pulled from AEW Dynamite this week, which also pulls Matt Hardy, which makes this 3-way tag team ladder match just a tag team ladder match for the AEW Tag Team Championships.
Being pulled from Dynamite is the least of Jeff's worries.
Being pulled from Dynamite might be the best thing to happen to Jeff Hardy's physical being in quite some time. However, at the expense of how that came to be, Jeff Hardy has been penultimately suspended without pay pending a completion of and successful sobriety post rehab.
And that still ain't at the top of his worry list.
Jeff Hardy about to get hung out to dry. Something that hasn't happened and probably should have happened a long time ago, but now it's probably being closer to reality than not. Jeff Hardy might be looking at a 5-piece.
5-piece tenders, brown gravy, strawberry soda,
dark,
Williams chicken special.
No soda.
No soda. You gotta hand that over to the guard. You can't have the soda.
Green ham sandwiches.
Extra order jalapeno poppers. Keep it spicy. It's gonna be rough on rats, tough on cats out here.
You told me the last time I said well wishes. What are you doing? Well, now we're just reporting the news. Speaking of the news.
Speaking of the news, that young man has made this choice one time too many. And it's by time that you gonna dry him out and make him complete whatever prerequisites come with that whole situation. Because if he's able to avoid the bear trap this time, next time I don't think it's gonna look half as good as it does now.
Celebrity does wonders in situations like this. I talk to people literally weekly by the ones, not by the 2s and 3s or by the dozens or the hundreds, literally weekly by the ones who talk about their nightmare DUI story, which usually means a loss of employment, in some cases loss of spouse and or domicile and or family, but more importantly, the inability to provide for self and catastrophic financial loss that if they bounce back from, great, but a lot of people don't bounce back from this. The fact that we have talked about this very thing in the 4+ years that we have done this show at least 3 times, twice in the last 6 months, is fucking disgusting.
So now everybody that has the vibe that they had about Stanford and the way they handled Jeffrey on the way out, you see why it happened that way. You see why they were like, hey, we need you to test, bro, because we need to see.
Now, there's a different energy that's been coming around these last 20 years that's made its way to the forefront that we've been seeing probably since the day we came out the womb. This energy is being carried on right now, perpetuated by Tammy Sitch. Sonny, for those not in the know, who allegedly killed a man while intoxicated behind the wheel of a vehicle a few months ago. And she is asking that her case be thrown out. I said it before that I wouldn't bring her back up on this show. I must say this, bitch, fuck you. What you got, Suave?
So this is breaking news. We haven't had it confirmed yet, but it looks like Sasha Banks has been released by WWE.
What?
Now we're gonna wait till we get a more concrete.
Oh my!
Till we get a more concrete source for this to really just unpack it. But if we gonna keep it, okay, how much more right and or justified is the walkout after what happened earlier today?
What you don't realize is that earlier today, Sasha Banks had eye surgery. Did you know about that?
No, I did not.
Yeah. Earlier today, she posted pictures on Instagram, or pictures with her were posted on Instagram by Newsom Eye in Florida.
Newsom Eye.
She had
Is that her husband?
No. Newsom Eye is an eye clinic in Central Florida.
Oh, God, look, I believe her husband is a Pacific Islander, but I didn't know his name. So.
No, that's hilarious.
Look, man, that was strictly unintentional. You know, I can make some really, really good slash bad jokes. This was not one of them.
Yeah.
But even with the stuff that happened earlier today, I was talking about this comes out about misconduct involving WWE employed women, and there's a paper trail, so it's not just one, and it involves the same person that they dropped the tag titles on the desk of. And then, so that whole story about them being met with fix your attitudes takes a whole different vibe now. The closed door meeting about dressing sexier that Ember Moon, aka Athena Page, had alluded to in her interview not that long ago, whole different vibe now. We were just saying, look, the fact that you're being an asshole to the people you're employing, like you're giving them employee rules, but they're independent contractors. Which Andrew Yang, anytime you get ready, it's like, yeah, whenever you feel like it. I mean,
I'm checking the watch on the arm that doesn't have one, but go ahead.
Fam, like this might be the perfect time for you to get active, but just it's a perfect storm of bullshit. It's all aimed at women. There's so many disgruntled ladies that are either still with the company, have departed from the company, and they don't. What comes out in the wash is that the culture in Stanford is not as woman friendly as maybe it should be. It's certainly not talent friendly. It's a machine.
A big money machine at that.
And the squeaky wheel gets the grease when you're dealing with machines. That's all I'm saying.
So I just want to know who's confirming the release. I did see an article that WWE has come to terms, and again, it needs to come with a little bit more more credence.
You gotta look at the outlets we trust, because there's one, but we don't fuck with that guy.
Yeah, but this one, actually, there's 3 at this point now. This is catching steam quick.
Oh, I would expect. Like, this is a heavy day in media coverage for WWE. Like, this is a lot of shit. And I'm like, and okay, because we know for whatever reason Stanford plays chess, but they play weird ass chess. I don't know if they learned how to play chess in like fucking the Cayman Islands or some shit, where you have to stand on your head while you do it so the blood rushes to your brain. But I mean, like, do you think this news broke this late to kind of combat the fact that Vince McMahon's story has already hit ESPN and all these other media outlets?
Ironically, that you say that, it happened around the same time. I'm looking at the timestamp on the one that you're talking about, and it happened around the same time that the bigger outlets got the McMahon story. Ironically,
I'm looking at people that like broke it in less than 30 minutes ago.
Check this though. So there was one person in particular, but the person that we refuse to quote has gone out of his way to cite the person who's breaking this story and going to double down on that by saying that he has good sources.
We'll see.
Yeah, that remains to be seen. That is huge.
Which means Naomi should not be far behind.
That also means,
or are they going to try to keep Uce Gang happy and keep Naomi employed with a new deal?
Or does that mean what we said, and that's the fact that Ms. Vernado truly has fuck you capabilities?
She got fuck you money. She has a fuck you attitude before the money. So whether or not it's fuck you money, it's enough money for me to say fuck you.
You know who comes out smelling like a bed of roses behind this? The minute it's available, Calvin Brodus.
Well,
yo, let's see what else we got. Speaking of like things missing, glaring omissions. We have not seen Platinum Max Caster this week.
Man, I'm so fucking disappointed. Like, bruh.
We also haven't seen Platinum Maxwell Jacob Friedman this week.
You know what? The more I look at this, especially with how, because it seems as though TBS and TNT and the whole Discovery Plus empire, they have a lot more say over programming than even we think. There's a great chance you don't see Max for a while. I would have said you probably see him, like if I'm booking it, you see him at Forbidden Door on some basically I'm finna ruin the main event type shit. I would have booked him, me personally, I would have booked him to come out of the crowd and win the Battle Royal. Last week, that convoluted ass Battle Royal that ended up with a match against Moxley. I'd have had him win the Battle Royal and then cheat to beat Moxley, and then he's in the main event. At which point Tony Khan would have had one job. Tony Khan's one job would have been to say, you know what, we're not gonna do the Japan second challenger. We're gonna find Tanahashi a suitable replacement. I'm handpicking MJF's opponent for the interim championship. Guess who his opponent would have been?
Who?
Wardlow.
Oh man.
And then I would have booked Max to go over. Cheat to win. I would have booked him to cheat, to go over, become champion, and the summer of Max would have been on full tilt. He'd done the whole CM Punk exit through the crowd, out to the car. And when you get to the car, guess who's driving? Now this part, the person I stole, but the angle of going out to the car and someone else is driving, that was all me. Guess who's driving?
Sean Spears.
No. Sean Spears helped him cheat.
CM Punk?
Nope.
Who?
Oh, that would have been good. Good job. Yeah.
Well, there was the reason why I said that. And I'll tell you here in a second. But tell me who's driving the car.
Eric Bischoff.
So that's hilarious. The reason why I said CM Punk is because I still think the best thing to do with Wardlow right now, especially after this bullshit we saw with this 20-man elimination match that had no stipulation on if Wardlow got eliminated or pinned during this match, is to pair Wardlow back up with MJF, or let Wardlow join MJF on his own volition to spite the machine, to spite the monster, if you will.
Oh, damn! I just had another name pop up in my head, and I fucking lost it.
He gone.
Yeah, he out of there. He's totally out of there. But it was somebody else I was gonna have driving the car, but you get the point though.
Yeah. Mean Green.
Oh, that's what it was. But he would have never traveled for it.
Who that?
Jim Cornette. If Jim Cornette was driving the car that picked up MJF, I swear to God, that would have been the most hilarious shit ever.
You know what's really dope about this whole, and I really hope that Bleacher Report isn't the reason, but the whole MJF not being on TV thing at the behest of the Turner executives would make it perfect for him to show back up at pay-per-view only.
I mean,
that makes the pay-per-views must watch, because that's going to be the only time you get a chance to see him, once every 6 to 8 weeks on pay-per-view.
Well, hey, about 2 weeks we'll know.
Yeah, straight up. Straight up. Riddle me this.
What up?
In the world of professional wrestling, or spades,
bruh, chill.
My bad.
Chill.
What can you help me understand what the term sandbagging is?
The term sandbagging is essentially the creation of dead weight. Dead weight being much more difficult to move than weight that is in a cooperative situation. Sandbagging is okay. Hopefully most people have been able to deal with this in some level of formal schooling. The group project, not the group projects, the group project, where, you know, it might be a group of four or more, maybe even less, but 3 of you are very much dedicated to whatever your responsibility is within the group project to get a good grade.
Meanwhile, the 4th one
is busy rolling up.
Or not even showing up and expecting the same grade.
Facts. But on presentation day, they will either stand there off to the side or stand up there with you as you're making this presentation, have no contribution whatsoever, and they get the same grade.
There has been a story, I throw in air quotes, and it broke because of comments on social media, that Thunder Rosa has been accused of sandbagging one Marina Shafir during their Dynamite match. A former ROH talent by the name of Eric Stevens, who retired from pro wrestling in, I believe, 2020 during the pandemic, had quite the discussion, or quite the comment to add to Thunder Rosa's match against Marina Shafir from Dynamite last week. Quote, "It's been a long time since I've seen a match where somebody so obviously tried to make themselves look better than their opponent, sandbagging and no-selling, but I saw a perfect example of it on Dynamite. It might look like a bad match to the untrained eye, but it's pretty clear when someone doesn't want to play ball, which sucks because it just makes you and your opponent look bad." Directly talking about Thunder Rosa. Not to be outdone, Ivelisse, who also was accusing Thunder Rosa of the same thing 2 years ago, had this to chime in. Quote, "I truly wholeheartedly appreciate all the recent Evil East was right statements hits the soul in ways you can never imagine. What?
Yeah. Vindication will do that to you, especially when you've been. That's the hill you died on. I ain't even here to throw stones, but that's real shit. Like, you get vindication about something, about a hill you died on. Yeah, there is no better feeling.
Keep in mind, if you're looking for a point of reference, this is the match last week on AEW Dynamite in which Thunder Rosa was dressed as the villainess from Kill Bill. So go back and take a look at it, and then if you want to dig through the archives and look up the Evil East match, you feel free to do that too in your own time. We got shit to do here. At any rate, just putting that out there. Apparently, Britt Baker has had some things to say. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, has had some things to say, which I haven't been able to see those things, but like her name has come up. Hopefully, she has something to say that she really did. Otherwise, people are just, throwing their names in the she just basically liked it. She liked the tweet. That's all that was.
I mean,
not for nothing. Britt Baker's only been wrestling for a handful of years. She's come a long way, but let's face it, bro. Like you're the best of your class, but.
Are we in a situation where everybody who happens to co-sign this particular opinion, each one of these people are at a lower performance scale than the person they shooting at?
And that's what I don't understand. Like, if you're shooting at someone at a lower performance scale, why does that person have your title? Because if you really cared that much, you would try to bring her up to standard. If you really cared that much, if that was truly the case.
All I'm saying is, if you get a group of people who are on level 2 to say that the person up on level 12 ain't doing enough to bring the level 2 up to a level 12, that's just entitlement. Now, if I'm a 12, you're a 2, and you pay attention to these steps and follow me for more recipes, and I bring you up to an 8, that's some player shit, and you need to learn that, and then eventually you'll be at an 8 by yourself, and then that 12 will bring you up to 12. And then when you actually get to 12, you and the 12 can both be 20s.
Otherwise, you're both going to end up being 2s quicker than being 20s.
The 12 will be a 2 because they're injured. The 2 will be a 2 because you're still you.
Bars.
Man, I do this shit
on a daily basis.
All day, every day. I'm not just another pretty face.
Oh man, Edge. Oh, Edge. So Edge gets ousted from his own organization. We get a killer match on Monday Night Raw between AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. I mean, a pay-per-view quality match, only to be outshined by this bullshit ass Judgment Day. I don't know what the hell is going on with them, other than the fact that they're just getting rid of Edge because Edge didn't like the supernatural direction of the group. Fine and dandy.
I mean,
why is the story making this rounds that the rated R superstar is coming back?
Short version, this is a cover your ass move for Cody going down. Ooh. Cody was basically babyface number 1 on Raw. Lazy booking.
There it is. Sorry.
So it was so basically you just had 2 strikes, you're out. 1, you don't want to do the supernatural shit we've been trying to get out, which I don't. Look, somebody owe Bray Wyatt an apology.
Yesterday, tomorrow, and forever.
Somebody owe Bray an apology Because apparently a lot of the supernatural shit that made the Fiend made the Fiend much different than what it was when it started. That's a Stanford thing. It's not so much him. That's actually a Stanford thing. And we still waiting on him to tell the story about Hell in a Cell. I cannot wait to hear that. But yeah, strike one. You don't want to do the supernatural shit. Okay, cool. So you're not in tune with the direction that we're trying to send this in. 2, our top babyface just went down, and he probably finna be gone long enough to where he gonna miss Christmas. We gotta make a move. I haven't heard anything about a draft looming, even though it is kind of that time of year.
How can you have a draft when they're supposed to be ending the brand split?
Supposed to be and doing are two different things.
Man, they got a lot of shit they got to take care of. Lots of house cleaning.
Sasha's supposed to be a tag champ. What is she doing?
What tag champ?
Exactly. Naomi's supposed to be a tag champ. What is she doing?
What tag champ? What tag championship? This is a figment of your imagination, sir.
So is the Judgment Day for Edge.
Hey, yo.
See what I did there?
Here all week.
Bing, bing. Bing, bong.
Bing, bong. Yo.
So now the week Judgment Day kicks Edge's ass. Say, go home for about a month or 2, grow your hair back, come back, and, there's SummerSlam.
And then last but certainly not least, as we get the Forbidden Door shaped up just right, like a nice Jalen Rose hairline.
Did you see that picture that's floating around the internet with Jalen Rose's edge up looking like a Good Times picture?
Cut the shit, dog. Like,
nah, for real, it looks like a painting.
No, I saw that. Like, it's too perfect. Like, he has notoriously had the most fire edge up on TV, and now his edge up got a filter on it.
Good time, anytime you need a payment.
Yo, the Bobby Lashley James Evans character on WWE 2K22.
Lashley. Speaking of Lashley, stop bringing back shit from 1989 to ruin the man's legacy.
Pose offs, fuck out of here, man.
Super pose down with. Look, all we needed was the. What fucking bar was that Rick Rude had? Well, it was an exercise bar. You needed
that flex bar.
Yeah, you needed the flex bar so he could hit him. So Theory could hit him with it after the baby oil. Shout out to Theory for being able to call that drop kick and not make it sound so obvious. while wearing a fucking boy band headset.
Yeah, like he was mic'd up for everything. Like, I don't,
but I'm like, who in the truck just left his mic hot, knowing they was about to call some shit? That's not even his fault. He took care of Lashley.
He did.
And it was subtle. This baby oil, here it is. Bow, drop kick. I love it.
Yeah. and then it adds to the asshole mystique that is Theory too.
Right. It sounded like him being an asshole, but he's really just, calling a shot.
New Japan AEW Forbidden Door shaping up nicely. We got Switchblade Jay White, your winner. IWGP World Heavyweight Champion after going over on Kaz Okada, completely blowing up what Adam Page thought was going to be his main event opportunity for the IWGP Championship, because he did not think that Jay White was actually going to win at Dominion this past Sunday.
Well,
so much for that. Wheeler Yuta is finally, the great Yuta has finally popped up back onto the Forbidden Door card
in a 6-man tag, a trios match.
Meanwhile, the great Muto has finally decided to announce his retirement from professional wrestling, possibly as early as spring 2023.
Thank you for your service, sir. Man,
one of the most monumental, seminal pieces of the United States-Japan talent exchange, going back to 1988, 89, feuds with the Nature Boy Ric Flair, Terry Funk, managed by the late great Playboy Gary Hart,
Playboy.
Storyline son of the great Kabuki. Like all of these things, man, and you know his impact for offense.
It's looking very Kabuki-ish.
His impact for offense has been felt for decades in this industry, and the fact that he's still able to hit a moonsault.
It's people now that can't hit a handspring elbow like the Great Muta.
It's just all of his movements were snap, and if you really break it down, he wasn't moving a lot. He just did a lot of movement. Does that make sense? It was he had his showmanship was insane.
Yeah, no wasted motion, but every move was dramatic.
And I can guarantee you that added to his longevity in the ring. That said, Suave.
Yeah,
we got a crown. We got to crown who's next. We got to pass the torch the right way.
Look, Kanos, this one's on us.
The next one's on you.
Yeah, the next one is on you. Forbidden Door is 2 weeks from now. Now would be a really good time to get the Great Muta on a flight to wherever you're gonna be, so that at some point during Forbidden Door weekend, preferably on the pay-per-view, we can have some sort of interaction where the Great Muta and the Great Yuta are at the same place at the same time, and a torch can be passed.
Everything from the face paint to the mist, and if you want to have a ceremonial passing of the bell-bottom pants, the bell-bottom fight pants,
I'll swap the bell-bottom pants for the face paint. The face paint might be a step too far.
You don't want to. You don't want to give the Great Yuta face paint.
Not every week. Like, the face paint in AEW is fucking overdone.
No. Okay, so like similar to how, but not as OD'd as Proud and Powerful pull their dead president shit off.
But you notice everybody's doing something dead presidents-ish. House of Black did a dead president-ish face paint job for the last pay-per-view.
I'm like, are they just stealing Sting's makeup bag? Like,
I mean, because Sting hasn't been on TV in a couple weeks, nursing an ankle injury. They just said, "Fuck Darby Allin. This ain't your gimmick. This for everybody.
This for the streets, cuz.
You can have old lady, but this paint, that's for everybody."
Man.
Yeah, face paint is way overdone. I think for the Great Yuta, I feel like now, okay, if they do a tag team situation, like on a one-off type thing, yes, absolutely. Paint your face, bell bottoms, tape your fingers, blow mist, all of that.
Yeah, tape the fingers and hold them in the V format as you. Come on, man. On, man.
All I need the Great Muta to do is acknowledge the Great Yuta. Speaking of which, did you acknowledge your tribal chief today?
I'm sorry. Not until this point I haven't, because it's been my day, but every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, every day, every damn day I'm supposed to do this. So I haven't done it until now.
Loose gang or don't bang.
This has been your daily acknowledgement of the tribal chief at the head of the table.
A whole lot of fucking gang shit. Straight like that.
But yeah, anyway.
I don't need a lot, just a little bit. Just put a little something on it.
Sure,
just a little bit.
Sure, BrokenPistolBC.com, BrokenPistolBC@gmail.com. That's at BrokenPistolBC on all things social. So that's at BrokenPistolBC on what?
Everything.
Broken Pistol Logic with the shit. You can't write this. Shouts out to Ron Murray as always.
Price just went up.
And mark my words, fuck the casual fan. Can't forget all that. And Tony Snow, what up though? Man, that boy getting active on the herb up there in Oklahoma, man. Woo, man. Ooh, I forgot next month. Probably around episode 176, we might have some news for y'all. Make sure you every damn week. 52 weeks a year. Fuck with you boys. We might have some news. I think that's it, man. My birthday's winding down too, man. I appreciate each and every one of you for reaching out to me on social media, phone calls, text messages, all that good shit, making your boy feel good on this on this here year. You know what I'm saying? Because
Straight like that.
there's no good feeling like a good feeling. Bars. Suave.
Nothing says fuck you like fuck you.
Shane Taylor, we coming. Gang. Suave.
Dang. Yeah.
Take us to the house.
Pencil pushers. Keep it in your pants and out of the emails.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hey, heads up. Pencils down.
It's expensive out here.